So welcome back to our new episode in our podcast for Gracie Barra Tooting. Ta-da! So today we're going to talk specifically about female Jiu-Jitsu. And if you have any questions that we don't cover here, you can send us and we are going to go with them later on in a different episode. So today I have here Sophia, our program director.
Hello.
And I am Professor Gabi, the senior instructor of Gracie Barra Tooting.
Hey.
Hey. So today we are going to talk about our personal experiences as practitioners. Maybe I might add some stuff as someone that also is an instructor. And we are going to talk a lot about our last adventure together. We went to Porto a couple of weeks ago, not long ago. And we had the chance to go to the Gracie Barra female camp. So it's a very special event, and it's basically like a camp of Jiu-Jitsu, but exclusively for the female that are part of Gracie Barra team. Yes. So Sophie, did I forget anything about?
No, and it was amazing to see both kids and adults there as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I guess the event was like for 12 years old forward. And you had like a lot of the teams, they were like, wow, beasts, you know?
Yeah, shout out to Norway GB because...
Yes.
The
kids there were very technical, like some of them also are very connected to competing. And it was very nice to see such young girls already like having this experience of being connected with other women that also practices Jiu-Jitsu.
100%.
Question, Sophie?
Well, what did you think of the journey there?
The flight was super cool, super okay. But it was a while to get to the airport because our flight was super early, so it was not ideal because I had to leave my house, I don't know, maybe at 5 a.m. and like 4:30.
I think I was already at the airport that time.
So it was difficult to go like by train or anything like that. You know, I had to get like a nap service. But the flight was like, it's a short flight. So we are in London from here to Porto, and like other cities in Portugal is normally just 3 hours long. So it was very fine. We were on the same flight, and we also had a student, Olivia, who got the same flight, and we were all sitting together.
And then we met.
And we met
student.
Yes.
When we got to Porto as well. So the whole GBT was there from the get-go.
Exactly.
That was nice.
And also on the flight, we were able to spot some women that were going for the event.
GBT shirts.
Because we are all wearing the uniforms kind of thing. So we met very cool people from the UK that were present in the event.
Yeah.
And Sophie, do you have any favorite parts of the event that you want to share with us?
Well, I have to say from the start, from the get-go, like literally from just walking in and being surrounded by so many women, you know, children, adults, all different levels. It was mainly lower belts, I would say, many white belts and blue belts, which was still really cool to see so young in their jiu-jitsu journey, like myself, to be so active in it, to go to another country, to do jiu-jitsu, you know, that shows real passion in the sport. And yeah, I honestly got goosebumps being in a room with so many women, so many black belt women as well. And it was really cool to see that one of them received their black belt there as well. So
a brown belt was graduated to her black belt. Her name is Claudia, and she's from Portugal.
Yes.
So for her graduation, we even received Vitor Estima in the whole environment, you know, because he was like, since he's the head of Gracie Barra Europe, he's the responsible for graduating the black belts and these special moments. And we also had another graduation. One of the teens from Norway. I guess she changed it from the white and gray to gray, solid gray.
So.
Yes.
Yeah. And all I could see was our students at Tooting as well. Like, I could see them in her, like, wow, that's like our kids. Like, oh, proud. It was really cool to see. Because I wasn't expecting to see the graduations there as well. So that was a nice surprise.
Now I imagine that maybe like if Vito was there, probably there would be some graduations going on.
Fair enough.
But it was very cool to see. Like it might be such a special, because every time you are graduated, you receive a new belt. It's like a special moment. It's like a mark on your journey. So receiving a black belt or any belt in this sort of context where you have like all women together practicing, sharing knowledge, it might have been something very remarkable. At least it was for me, even though I wasn't graduated. It was just nice to see like the whole vibe and everybody cheering for each other. So I really liked it.
Yeah, and it was really nice to see almost like a glimpse into the future of where, you know, GB Tooting can be. You know, because at the moment we're still developing our women. You know, we've got a nice group of girls here, but it would be, well, I'm excited to see how big it can become, you know, because it's one of the things, until you see it right in your face, you know, it's just a dream. But being able to be in a spot with so many women, it's like, wow, this is something that can be attained. You know, if so many can come from abroad, from Rome, from Norway, from Brazil, to be in one spot, you know, I'm sure we can help grow our community here too.
And regarding the seminars, what was your favorite seminar?
A little bit biased, but I have to say Sula's no-gi seminar. Yeah, I think it was for myself because I haven't practiced as much no-gi. It felt like a nice, safe environment to basically bring myself back into that space. So as soon as I came back to Tooting, I jumped straight into a no-gi class and I was like, yes, okay, let's go. I think after you haven't done something for a while, it can be quite like nerve-wracking to get back into that space, no matter what level you are. So it was nice to have that space provided for us and also to share it with our students as well. So as a student, it was really nice to be in that space and to learn techniques that I can use with my body type as well. It was really good because I think we learned so many techniques back to back as well.
Any particular technique that you feel like is going to be very good for your game?
So there were so many techniques that were covered, and I definitely noted quite a few down. But I think more than the techniques itself, I would say that is the concept of weight distribution. I think is something that I'm definitely going to take back and use more in my practice. As I've mentioned to you before in the past, you know, it's something that I found very challenging from the start of my jiu-jitsu journey, kind of like knowing how to use my weight in a mindful manner. As someone who's, let's say, a little bit more cuddly than most, I've always been quite anxious about putting too much of my weight on a person because I don't want to squash them or hurt them. And, you know, I feel like with jiu-jitsu, it's very much up to the person that you're with to tell you how they're feeling. So if it is a case that I'm putting too much weight, that's not for me to say, it's for that person to tell me, which I've learned a bit more over time. But going back to the concept of weight distribution, it's about knowing how to use your weight. And again, no matter the size of you, you know, you have definitely used your weight on me. and again, it doesn't matter how big or small you are. If you're doing it in a mindful way, it can definitely up your game, 100%. And that was something that I think I took a lot from Sula's no-gi when she was doing the changing of the movements, whether you're on mount on someone, and then they move on to you and then you go back to base yourself on them. It's just basically going with the flow and feeling where you need to basically staple them in a place that contorts them, that they can't move, and use it to your advantage.
Exactly. It's how you use your weight to control the opponent, right? In a way that is good for you.
Exactly.
And what about the more like subjective things, you know? Because techniques, they are very objective. It's this and this and this and this. But all the seminars that we had, I felt like they were bringing a lot of things for us to reflect on.
Yeah, like the leadership workshop and
Yeah.
the self-defense workshop.
So did you had any outstanding reflections from the whole thing?
I think it was a good reaffirmation of, you know, you need to look after yourself first before you can look after someone else. The whole, you know, when you're on a plane, you need to put the mask on yourself first before helping someone else, kind of thing. And I think it's something that I've struggled with both in jiu-jitsu and out of jiu-jitsu, just the concept of burnout and looking after yourself. Because if, you know, you have nothing else to give, then you're not going to be able to help anybody else, including yourself. And it's a similar thing in jiu-jitsu too, because if you're not protecting yourself, even with little things like putting a mouth guard on before you're sparring, or, you know, if you're injured, rest or do it in a mindful way, or communicate with other people. And now even learning to say that it's okay to say no, to not spar with someone if you don't feel safe to do so. Just basically take your feelings, your body, your mind, everything into account first and foremost. And of course done in a respectful way, but looking after yourself basically. And then that you can be more impactful in the way that you help other people too.
Good. And do you feel like you were able to make a lot of new friends or new connections?
I have to say, everyone was super friendly. I think having the GB wear on was an icebreaker from the get-go. Like literally just from the Porto's airport toilet line, I met Professor Pam, who she's a black belt, and we got to chatting straight away, literally just in the queue for the toilet. So that doesn't tell you how open everyone was to making connections, whether it was in the elevator on the way to our rooms or just out and about or on the mats. Everyone was super open to meet you and even support with the language barrier as well. You know, there's so many students who really helped make the experience a lot better by providing their own skills that they didn't need to do. It was very kind of them to help everyone else out as well. So yeah, everyone was very open, very warm, and I've made some connections on Instagram and stuff, and I hope that, you know, if I go visit, I'll have those connections. I hope they're still practicing jiu-jitsu. And kind of reaffirming that Gracie Barra is a wider community. So of course we have Tooting community, but it's so much bigger than that. And I think at times when you're the only girl on the mats, it's easy to feel very alone in that. But knowing that you've got a friend in Portugal who's also training, or in Rome, who might also be the only girl on the mats that day, that you're all training together in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like, it was very nice to meet people in different places. So when I am at their town, at their city, I will be able to go and practice somewhere that I know that I will have like a acquaintance.
Yeah, just a familiar face. It's always nice anywhere you go anyways. But yeah, just bringing it back to the wider community and just seeing that there's so many different types of women. We're all multifaceted, we're all very complex. You know, there's not one way to be a woman, one way to be a jiu-jitsu practitioner. You know, we can all have our lives and our families and our work outside of jiu-jitsu, but we're still connected within that too. And it was really nice to also see so many mothers as well. And, you know, it's something that I've always wanted to have a family. And as someone who doesn't have kids yet, you know, knowing where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would be like the place in your life, it was really cool to see that there were so many women who've either just had a baby or have been you know, have older kids or have started after their kids to join their kids. I thought it was really cool. And it just brings it back to my first class with my mom. And I feel like the cycle just continues. Just
So
women
hopefully one day it's
supporting
gonna
women.
be your daughter.
Yeah, I might have to fight with my partner with American football because that's his passion. But why not? They'll do all
The
of it.
kid
all
can
of
do
it.
both
Do
things,
both,
no?
exactly. Yeah, we'll do like how you can choose your Pokemon. We'll put an American football and a gi, and let's see which one they crawl to.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
And I really want us to work on making tooting as accessible to women, no matter if you have kids or not, just for all types of women, and see how we can make it more accessible for everybody, so everyone can do jiu-jitsu. That would be nice. But what about yourself? What did you think? What really stood out to you, would you say?
A lot of different things. So I found interesting that a lot of women who are white belts and blue belts were present at the event. They were the biggest numbers.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see that like there is a lot of people at the beginning of their journey, but already engaging in this sort of activity. It took me 13 years of practicing jiu-jitsu to go to a camp just with women. So that was my first time.
Wow.
So for me, it was very powerful to see so many women together practicing, and also thinking like, oh my gosh, these people are coming at the beginning of their journey, so definitely they're not going to feel as alone as I felt. And, you know, they're going to have a lot of perspective on what jiu-jitsu can bring them, the possibilities, the opportunities. I enjoyed meeting professors that have been practicing jiu-jitsu for even more time than I do. And I just was very, very happy to have met Nika and Vivi because I followed their work for a long time. So Vivi, I see her on the GB online, you know, showing some positions and stuff, and also like I follow her work. Then Nika, it's been years since I follow Nika's work, and I know like how consistent, how solid her female team is. So it's just very fulfilling, very satisfying to see two women who are Brazilians and who are like putting their dream into reality. Because for them, being able to share jiu-jitsu with other women, it's a dream, you know? So for me, it was very good to see them in person, to learn new techniques from them, and also learn like with their leadership. Regarding the techniques, we had a seminar with Natalia, and Natalia taught like a berimbolo. And I really like positions, techniques that end up, that finish on the back control. So berimbolo is something that I know the concept. Sometimes I try it works, sometimes it doesn't. So with her explanation, I feel that now I really learned how to do it.
Wow. And you're a black belt, so for me listening to a black belt saying that she's learned from someone else is really inspiring, because it just shows that your story doesn't end as soon as you get your black belt.
No, the beginning is the black belt, you know? Until you reach your black belt, everything else that you're doing, you're just like learning basic stuff. But then when you get to the black belt, then it's like a new universe opens in front of you. Because then now you are aware of your ignorance, kind of thing.
Interesting.
So you just know that, like, man, this jiu-jitsu is deep. Jiu-jitsu is deep. There is still a lot of things for me to learn, to grow, to like achieve. And I need to keep studying. And now there's another level of responsibility on my shoulders.
Professor.
Yes. So you need to have like maturity to deal with the responsibility that comes within the belt, you know? It's always responsibility, because when you are getting new belts, it shows to the whole team that technically you are developing, you are evolving. But if you don't develop also your posture, your maturity, how you handle a lot of the challenges that comes with jiu-jitsu, And if you don't also try to be a better person, not just a better fighter, then what's the reason of even having these belts? You know? So I see that every belt is a new responsibility, is going to bring new challenges, new learnings, and new excitement, adventures, you know, new things that you're going to like have with you in your memory, in your journey.
Sweet.
Yeah, so for me also like being in this event and seeing this amount of women was very inspiring.
Chills, literal.
Learning like so much about this concept of supporting each other, of like leading other people, you know, how we need to be leaders of ourselves first and then be able to inspire and support other people and be leaders for them. It's just very, very good. From the professional perspective, it was amazing to observe how these other professionals are structuring their classes, how they are like exchanging their knowledge, teaching, you know, what are the details that they are giving more attention to. So it was nice for me to see. And we were in Porto. It was the first time that I was visiting Porto. Visiting Portugal, because I have done some like connection flights in Portugal before, but this was the first time that actually I was able to see the country. So it was my first time in a country that is not Brazil but also speaks Portuguese.
Interesting.
So I felt very comfortable, familiar. Also we have this ugly shared past with Portugal because they colonized us. So it is just like this intriguing feeling of like I am in a place that it's different from my country, super far away, but because of colonialism there is it just felt so familiar. Architecture, speaking like architecture wise, it's close, some of the food, some of the culture. So I saw a lot of similarities, like with things in common between Brazil and Portugal. And we did have the chance to like walk, go to a few restaurants, interact with people from the country, but also like foreigners that were there working, like immigrants. It was very good, very nice experience. I want to go back to Portugal again for holidays. Because they have better weather than the UK.
Obviously, I'm quite lucky with my partner being half Portuguese. I've had the experience of going a few times before, but I've never been to Porto, so I would like to go back to see a bit more of the area itself, because I feel like adventuring at night when you're hungry is not the same as going on a
during the daytime.
But it was still beautiful and the food was yummy too. And had good company as well, so that made it great.
Yeah, and then the students, they did the travel being very special. Another point for me, like being able to take students of mine to this kind of event and supporting their progression, that was very, very, very special.
And also
very
seeing
unique.
them outside of the academy in a different environment was really nice as well, to like solidify those connections a bit more and just get to know each other a bit more as well.
And now final message that you would tell to any Gracie Barra female member, or to any women who would like to know more about Jiu-Jitsu, who practice or wants to try, what would you tell them?
So kind of like how we've said before, I think take that leap of faith. You don't know until you try if it's something that you enjoy. And as well, as you've mentioned before, every academy, every gym offers different things. So maybe you might go to one place and they might not have exactly what you are looking for, but don't see that as a sign to give up on it, because you might find what you're looking for somewhere else too. And there's all of us have to start somewhere. So it's just, taking that leap of faith and just trust the journey, trust the experience. And if you find a professor or a coach that really inspires you and you're enjoying yourself, and just enjoy the journey too. Don't see it as a race to your next belt. Just respect the process and yourself whilst doing it.
Very wise. Even sounds like you are a professor.
Another 9-10 years to go maybe, but
Yeah.
thank you, Professor. And yourself, do you have any passing notes? And I would love to hear it too as someone quite early on in my journey too.
I think you did very good points, but the one thing that I'm going to say is find a gym, find a place that you really feel comfortable at, and keep practicing, you know? Because I think that as women, we face so many different challenges than from men inside the tatami, the dojo. And sometimes a lot of women, they don't feel connected to the community that they are at that specific moment. So I would say, like, try to find a gym that you feel connected with the other colleagues, with the professors, the instructors, you know. And if at some point you are in a place that stops making sense to you, for you, try to find a new place. Nowadays, there are multiple jiu-jitsu gyms.
True.
And if you want to come and practice with us, you're very welcome.
Took your free intro today.
Yeah, Gracie Barra Tooting. It's going to be a pleasure to receive all the women here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Ciao. Obrigada.